Good day, class. Today, we'll explore one of the most fascinating topics in light reflection and plane mirrors. Ever wondered how mirror shows us our image instantly? Let's find out the science behind it. Let's start with a fun challenge. Look at these four pictures. What one word connect them all? Yes, the answer is reflection. You all noticed that the four pictures have something in common. They all show reflections. Nakikita natin ang ating sarili sa tubig, sa salamin, o kahit sa mga shining na bagay. But have you ever wondered bakit natin nakikita ang sarili natin sa salamin? Or paano nakakabalik ang liwanag sa ating mga mata para makabuo ng image? Let's move on to our next slide and discover the science behind that. So class, ready na? When light hits a smooth surface like a mirror, it bounces back. That is called reflection. Like how we see our face in the mirror or our shadow in shiny objects. Pero hindi lahat ng surface ay nagpapakita ng malinaw na reflection, di ba? Some surfaces, like mirrors, show a clear image, while others, like walls or paper, don't. So what makes mirrors special? A plain mirror is your everyday mirror, flat and smooth. It always makes a virtual, upright image that's the same size and distance as you are from the mirror. Now let's take a closer look at the parts of reflection. Incident ray, reflected ray, normal line, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. Remember these 5 parts as they will help us describe how light behaves when it meets a mirror. Makikita nyo dito sa picture may isang ray ng light na tumatama sa mirror. Yung kulay pula. That is the incident ray. Ito yung ray of light na galing sa light source, for example, flashlight or sunlight, na unang tumatama sa surface ng mirror. Parang yung unang tumatama na bola sa pader. Iyon ang incident ray. Next, this one is the reflected ray, yung kulay green. Ito naman yung ray na bumabalik or nagbabounce off from the surface of the mirror. Kung saan tumama, dun din siya babalik. That's reflection. Then we have the normal line. Mapapansin nyo, this is the imaginary line drawn perpendicularly, tuwid na tuwid 90 degrees, sa surface ng mirror. Hindi siya actual line na nakikita, pero ginagamit natin siya to measure the angles of incidence and reflection. Ito po yung dashed line sa gitna. Now, this angle between the incident ray and the normal line is called the angle of incidence. Yan ang tinatawag nating incoming angle. Gaano kaslant ang dating ng light ray. Finally, the angle between the reflected ray and the normal line. Ito naman ang angle of reflection. At ayon sa law of reflection, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Ibig sabihin, kung gaano kaslant pumasok ang light ray, ganun din siya kaslant palabas. Another statement or principle under the law of reflection is that the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal line are in the same plane. Light can reflect in 2 ways. When light hits a smooth surface, it bounces back evenly. We call that specular reflection. Ito yung reflection na nakikita natin ng malinaw na malinaw, kagaya ng sa salamin. But if the surface is rough, light scatters in different directions. That's diffuse reflection. For example, specular reflection is when you see yourself clearly in a mirror. Diffuse reflection is you see a vague image or silhouette on a crumpled foil. Now let's apply what we learned. We will watch a short clip called the Impossible Mirror Shot. Observe carefully how the director used reflection in this video.
Dad, it's starting. You're gonna miss it. Dad, there's another one. Hurry up.
Wait a minute, Clark. Almost done.
Oh, there's another one. Come on, hurry up, Dad. Dad? Dad? Daddy? Dad? Dad! I'll get the medicine.
Now let's answer these two questions about the clip. Why do you think the scene was called the Impossible Mirror Shot? Because the camera should have been visible in the mirror, but it wasn't. It is an impossible mirror shot because in order for the director to shoot this segment of the film, the camera should also be visible in the mirror. Next, how do you think the director was able to film the impossible mirror shot? They used a green screen to cover the mirror, then overlapped it with the flipped camera shot of the girl. Ang galing, no? That was really mind-blowing. Akala natin, imposibleng kunan yung eksena dahil dapat makikita rin ang camera sa mirror. Pero nagamit ng director ang konsepto ng reflection para dayain ang ating paningin. This just proves how powerful understanding light and mirrors can be, even in filmmaking. Now that we've seen how reflection works in real life and even in movies, let's wrap up everything we learned today and review the most important ideas about reflection in plane mirrors. The law of reflection tells us that the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection, and both rays lie in the same plane as the normal line. There are two kinds of reflection. Diffuse reflection is when light bounces in many directions on a rough surface, and specular reflection is when light reflects neatly on a smooth surface like a mirror. Finally, a plane mirror is a flat, smooth surface that always forms a virtual image, upright, same size, and found behind the mirror. I hope you learned something today. Thank you for listening.